Hello everyone, it's Fox Spectre, and today I'm going to be showing you something that I said I was going to show you yesterday. Now, this is one of the more, I don't know what you call it. It's not a machine in the Orium Datapack. I have already gone through all the machines in the Orium Datapack so far, unless I add more. But there is something that I hinted at a while ago that I didn't quite show you what it does yet. Diamondsteel. I showed you this in, what was it, my second video when I introduced the mineral compressor. And I didn't go into depth about it. There's only 3 materials that the mineral compressor can make, and that's iron wire, electrium, and diamondsteel. And the other 2, you probably saw what they are good for, such as electrium makes advanced versions of all the machines, and iron wire makes the machines in the first place. But diamondsteel, this is the unique one of the 3 that I have. Now, diamondsteel is fused just like anything else using blaze powder, and it's 1 diamond as the first ingredient and 2 iron for the second ingredient. So if you just put it in a whole stack, we'll use 2 iron for every diamond. And as you can see, it's just kind of consuming it and turning it into diamondsteel ingots rather. Diamondsteel ingots are used for custom tools that I'm adding. Now, I'm not adding exactly what you'd think it would be. I'm not just going to make one that consumes or uses, I don't know what the word is. I'm not making indestructible tools, first of all, to be clear. It's not an indestructible tool. It does have durability just as any other tool would, but in a workbench you can make a diamondsteel axe, which requires 5 electrium, and a diamondsteel axe has a very special property about it. In creative, it doesn't seem all too different. It's just, okay, you can break stuff with it, whatever. But if you're in survival, that's my cat, if you hear that bell. This is my cat scratching himself. But in survival, if you break a log with a diamondsteel axe, the rest of the tree's gone. A diamondsteel axe is basically a lumber axe from other mods, where if you mine a block, it takes out the whole tree. And of course it starts wherever you mine from, so if I break that, it won't break the bottom, but it'll break everything above it. And this actually works with every tree variant in any case where it can generate. Like this is chaotic, it's got diagonals, it's got sideways, whatever. Well, it doesn't matter. It breaks the whole thing. Sometimes you get some pretty severe lag spikes when this runs. There's not much I can do about that. But given that it's just this temporary little halt while the tree is being, I don't know what you call it, well, being chopped down, if you will. One durability is, well, consumed, if you will, from the diamondsteel axe. Now this is, if you were to turn on advanced tooltips, you'd see that it is just a diamond axe. So it has all the properties of a diamond axe, but it has NBT data that allows it to interact with trees uniquely. This is kind of the idea of diamond steel. I want it to be used to make unique versions of diamond tools. They're going to be just as good as diamond, but with some twist. And in the case of the axe, digs out a whole tree. Now, I don't want to add armor because I'm not sure what I would do for armor. Most of the custom abilities that you can get from armor, well, long story short, Orium happens to have something else in it called, well, divinities, which I will be covering next weekend, or at least starting to cover. This is going to be a long time coming, but these are basically some form of custom enchantment that I have for tools, weapons, armor, bows, etc. And I don't know what besides the features I've implemented, like Aura of War, Frostbite, Toxicity. I have, of course, the versions for armor. If I go function, divinities, wearable. Get a bunch of books now. Like Hell Walker or Wave Rider or Spirit Vision. And most of the common kinds of buffs that you would get from special armor, I have covered already with divinities. So I am not exactly sure yet what I want to implement for armor. But for tools, I know what I want. Such as, well, I have an idea of what I want, like the Diamondsteel axe. Mine takes out the entire tree. There's no divinity for that, so I made a tool for it. There are a number of ideas for the pickaxe, the shovel, and the sword that I want to implement, but as of now, this axe is the only thing I've added. There is no special sword, there is no special axe, or there's no special pickaxe, rather, or shovel just yet, or even some unique tool altogether. Oh, that was bad. Meant to do some parkour there, but it didn't work. If I tried to make anything else, such as Diamondsteel sword, well, first of all, that's not even how I would make it. I would have it be something a little bit bigger, like this, because the point is that they're way more expensive than a regular one. This is probably going to be the recipe for the sword, which is big. But I don't actually know what features I give it yet. I know exactly how to add it into the game, I just don't know what I want it to do, as I say. If you have any ideas for a sword or a pickaxe or a shovel, other than just, it digs out a 4x4 area or something weird like that, which I could do, if nothing else comes to mind, I will probably do that. But, as of now, this is all I have. This is the only thing that I know I really want. And when a Diamondsteel axe, for example, is given unbreaking or is given efficiency, etc., you have one of the most effective ways to do woodcutting in the game. Just be careful not to make a house out of logs and then use your Diamondsteel axe to mine out of it. That can be problematic. But yeah, that's really all that I had to say. It was just that Diamondsteel tools, they are a thing. I don't know everything I want to implement yet. As a further proof of concept, I have basically every kind of tree layout that you can get in this game that I can at least think of at the moment, which includes all of the 1x1 trees and then 2x2 trees and some interesting cases like how oak can grow next to itself. So oak trees, as you saw, okay. You didn't see anything. Anyway, every kind of tree that can exist in this game, if you use a Diamondsteel axe on it, well, it mines out the whole thing. Works for oak, spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, despite sideways growth, dark oak, which is a 2x2 with diagonals, gets the whole thing, jungle, which has diagonals, sideways, etc., and is a 2x2. Bit of lag there. 2x2 spruce, which takes the longest usually. And this interesting case with birch, jungle, and oak specifically, where they can grow next to each other. If you grow a bunch next to each other, you can then just take out one block near the bottom, and it will wipe out the entirety of them. And now look at this. You can get all that fancy wood. So you could just place rows upon rows of saplings for oak or what have you, and then take out one singular block and mine the entire thing of it, which also leads to some interesting points where you can take, say, oak. Let's just do this. I'm just going to run this out like that. And I'm just going to keep running it out. I'm just going to keep doing this until I run out of oak, basically. Or even then, I have other wood that I can use. Any wood type works. you can probably get an idea of what I'm doing here. I'm trying to be creative. But you can actually make some interesting, if you will, it's a fuse with what has to travel in that particular order and will take a certain amount of time to finish. Every block, it takes one tick for it to travel one block. So 20 blocks a second, basically. Which is really good for one-time wiring. If you want this really complicated way to set up wiring one time, you can do it. And there are some weird case exceptions with it, such as if you set up jungle. Jungle can make jumps, if you will, where even though there's a gap there, it still crosses it, because the way that jungle trees grow, sometimes a block can be one block away from another, which means that I needed to make it capable of doing 2-block jumps. It also means that jungle fuses run twice as fast because it's automatically jumping. If I place these two things here, these 2 blocks will break at the same time if I break this. They broke at the exact same time. It didn't go 1, 2, 3. It went 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And that's true with, I believe, only jungle, because jungle has the most special cases to account for. But the code involved, or the code, it's just a bunch of functions, involved to check for anomalies in the way that wood grows. So you got your jungle tree, it's growing up, and then it decides, wrong button, decides to grow a little branch off to the side, and then it goes up 1 or whatever. Sometimes it has a 1-block gap, which this can account for every time. I am yet to come across a single way that any of these trees are able to grow that the axe does not fix. As far as I am concerned, I have covered every possible way that these trees can grow. Now, if you come across one that it doesn't work with, then please report it to me so I can, fix it. But that's really all. I just wanted to give a little proof of concept there with showing how the axe does work with all wood types. I have the axe, to my knowledge, fully functioning and compatible with everything else in this game. And, of course, quick note, if for whatever reason I wanted to enchant this after, not for whatever reason, if I want to enchant this, it does retain its MBT data. So it can still operate as a Diamondsteel axe with efficiency 2, or whatever enchantments that are on here, unbreaking, etc. And the enchantments will still work just as always, but now you have that extra feature that when you break part of a tree, the entire tree, well, at that point or above, will also break. So yeah, that's all. That's all I had to show you guys. And as you can see, it works very nicely, and I'm pretty happy with it. Any suggestions, let me know, especially if you have ideas for other tool implementations for Diamondsteel. I'd love to hear them, because I'm running out of ideas quickly. And next week, I might upload 2 videos, can't say for sure yet, but I will either have one for an update with Diamondsteel tools, or I will start covering divinities. We will see what the week brings. Anyway, that is all from me, and I'm out.